Welcome, everyone. We've made it to midweek, and I didn't even ask chat today. I just said we're doing traditional. I felt best 2 of 3 is how I wanted to approach the format today. Part of that was how it went yesterday with playing a black deck in best of 1, and we won 3 games with it. But it had some bomb. It had veto. It had some bombs. Some people expected more from it. Some people expected less, depending on kind of your opinion of black in this format right now. But it really drove home, again, what I think is true about this format in particular. It's that when you've got multiple Fun Police type aggro decks that can really put pressure on some decks that are trying to do a long game strategy, it creates a situation where sideboarding is very important because the matchup is so different. Imagine a blue-black Reanimator deck in this format, something looking to control, go late, reanimate, get stuff back, and do big things in the end game, versus, say, a red-white Boros deck. Hyper aggro, get them dead as fast as you can with cheap creatures and tricks and interaction. And imagine those, Boros versus Reanimator, Reanimator versus Reanimator, and Boros versus Boros. And imagine what types of things you wouldn't want and would want for those matchups. And you can start to see where the sideboarding skill comes in and how it can help augment a thinking player's win percentage by understanding the matchup you're trying to adjust for in games 2 and 3 if necessary, and give you that extra edge to come out and take the later games by outthinking your opponent in sideboarding and outdrafting other people by taking those pieces and understanding what pieces can do a job against some decks. That's what you want to look for late in a best of 3 draft that you might not look for in a normal draft, or are cards that are narrow, but you can imagine their use. You can say, okay, this is a job. What job could this card do? And if you come up with a narrow but realistic job, that's a potential great sideboard option that wouldn't matter in best of 1 drafting. What matters to me, though, before we start drafting is that you check out my sponsor, cardkingdom.com. You can check them out in my panels down below. They are purveyors of all things physical Magic. They've got double masters brewing right now as those previews roll in. And if you're thinking about doubling up on some double masters, you can put in start looking at Card Kingdom. They are being very clear that the supply chain on the new sets, the physical Magic cards, is sketchy right now. The global pandemic is affecting how stuff gets made and gets from one place to another, and that's affecting physical Magic. And Card Kingdom is just doing their level best to keep you informed at all times of what their expectations are, what they know, what kind of stock they are going to get. And when they don't know, cautioning you like I'm cautioning you now, which is to say they're not sure exactly how much of everything they're going to get, but they sure want to deliver happiness to as many of you as possible in the form of double masters and jumpstart and all the cool new stuff that Magic has to offer. And they're going to do it with great customer service, fast shipping, and unparalleled industry inventory. All right. We're going to jump in here, though, pay 1,500 in gemmers, and get into the draft view. Dreaded's not happy with the pricing on double masters. I would say, at least, even if you're not happy with the pricing of the individual packs, Cthulhu, if what you want is for the contents of double masters to depress the prices of those cards in the secondary market, I still think it'll do that. So, like, maybe you don't need to buy any sealed product there, but I bet you'll be happy that prices come down on some of the singles you want. And as someone with a lot of inventory, I get very nervous around these sets. I'm just like, because I'm also, you know me, I'm a bit scattered and behind on everything. And so managing risky Magic inventory can be tough. And between rotations and reprints, a card I bought for N dollars can be suddenly worth N minus a significant amount of dollars with the right reprint or rotation, you know? You like opening boxes? Well, you're going to have to live vicariously through some of those box opening channels. MTG Finance says Double Master is currently underpriced. The market will bear out, though. That's what I mean. You know, that's what we're saying, right? Like, it may be underpriced right now, but as the cards from it depress the prices of the singles they're reprinting, it should probably come down a bit. Although also, you know, historically, all of these Masters products, if kept completely sealed, have gone up, right? Is there a booster pack with the word Masters on it that Wizards has printed that is worth less than its initial MSRP now? Iconic, is that the worst one? I should know this, right? I'm secondary market guy, but stuff shifts so much. I just always look at the time to catch up. Haj parroting one of the big complaints of the community. They won't reprint ally fetches at a reasonable price. Yeah, I don't know when my supply of fetches may be my biggest risk in my inventory. Not that I have some insane number of fetches, but I have a fair number, and I should probably try and move those before they finally do reprint them. Not to gouge you all before WotC makes things more affordable, but, you know, supply and demand. Here I am. Oh, fetches were a mistake. I don't think that's a hot take, Cthulhu. I think that's largely the feeling in R&D. I can't speak for all of R&D, and a department like that is known for its vigorous debate. There's almost no issue that comes. If an issue is worth talking about in R&D, there's probably somebody willing to, you know, that has an opposing viewpoint. But shuffling in general is something that R&D has learned to minimize as much as possible. So you get cards like is Rob here? Track Down. Cards like Track Down are design space around the Go Find Land design space that really does help a deck fix. It's not as perfect as a Rampant Growth or whatever, but it doesn't need shuffling, right? So when you can accomplish your goals with spells that historically would kind of have a shuffling effect associated with them because they tutor or search the library or something, more and more you see R&D trying to replace those with non-shuffling effects, because shuffling is a real drag in tabletop Magic. And some of you might not know this. Dave Marcy, former colleague of mine, has, I think, literally taught more people to play Magic than anybody in the world. He ran a Tuesday group that taught Magic, and he said the number one indicator of whether or not someone would come back to the next lesson after their first Magic lesson was whether or not they could shuffle cards. If they couldn't shuffle, they would not come back. So shuffling is a big deal for people. So yeah, let's look at this crazy pack. This is a nuts pack. This is unfortunate how much good is here. We've got a nice rare. Seasoned Howlblade. We've got Enthralling Hold. Askolyte is an excellent common, so is Visionary. What do y'all think? I mean, I think I'm just going to take the rare because I've never really played with this. And it seems like we could maybe build around it and have some fun. But Howlblade maybe... Also, I don't like that we're passing Howlblade and Askolyte. We're going to really kind of put our neighbors into white, but we'll try and cut it and knock them off it. I'm going to take the rare. See what we can do with it. Into a Waker, which is really in quite a different direction from the Lieutenant. We could also take the Shock to head towards Boros, an aggro Boros combo. Certainly Waker is the most powerful card here, but it is not exactly a Basri's Lieutenant card. So we can take, there's also Visionary to go towards that, but I think, you know, this is so far off of this. I think Shock or Visionary is a good plan here. What do you all think? But we can take Waker. This is a very good card. There's no real white to cut here. I mean, this Adept is okay. Cheese likes Visionary. Swag likes the Shock that I have currently selected. I think I'm going to Shock it. Yeah, green-white is... All right, a little bit more chat on Visionary, so I'll take the Visionary. Chat was just a little bit more on Visionary, so I'm following them down here. And we get somewhat rewarded with another Visionary, which we can take over a mirror, which I've said I would rather have, given that we are headed towards green. I mean, this is colorless, so we could abandon green and still play the mirror. But Llanowar Visionary replaces itself and taps for one fewer color, you know, one less mana. But I like the Visionary over the mirror. You like the Adept? I just didn't like it in that spot, in that pack. I thought I liked the Visionary better, but I'm not. I've played it, and I think Hodge is right that if you take the Falconer or whatever, the Adept, then you need to think in terms of what kind of interactions are going to let you get it through. Like a feat. Hunter's Edge, though, still, remember we took a Lieutenant and then passed a bunch of good white. If we don't take this feat, we're almost in a way giving up on white in pack 2. So Edge, it's like Edge versus feat, and Edge is the thing that we're most on color for. But I do want to try and play this Lieutenant, and feat is fantastic. And if we're green-white, feat is fantastic, specifically in green-white. Edge, they both put counters on. But I'm going to take the feat here in a very close call, but in a somewhat of a desire to try and continue cutting the white. Although now it looks like we're getting cut on white, so I'm not gonna get stubborn about it. We can take a grasp here and maybe prepare to do that. Ruined Halo. We are in best of 3, so we can just take the Halo. There are times if an opponent has multiple, you know, they're showing 3 6/6 tramples or something. You can bring the Halo in. But what's the best card? Thrill is pretty good. It's not very good, but you can find uses for it. It's a reasonable sideboard. The thing is, what are we giving up? Like a Havoc Jester is just a solid dude. Grasp of Darkness, clearly the best card in the abstract here. I'm going to just take the Grasp. I know we don't love black, but this is a pick 5 premium removal spell. I'm going to hedge towards it and make sure we're not just shutting that door without acknowledging that if you're the only black drafter at the table, this can actually work out fine. Pride Malkin here, though, is the clear pick now. Yeah, if Grasp wasn't in the pack, I'd take a flyer on the Halo, but I don't think it was correct at that point. Here we can take the Adept. This is where I like picking up the Adept, especially now we do have that feat. Spinner, Scanner, Charger. Probably just Charger here. Go with the lowest, most aggressive. We're probably not playing the Grasp. I like the Sky Scanner just fine, but Charger is the kind of card we need. If we're going to get some Acolytes or whatever, we want to get our 2s down so the Acolytes on 4 do stuff. Battalion, not a bad card in this format either. It's our buddy dub. I can take a dub, but we have Ranger's Guile and Snare Spinner, which are better. Just take a Spinner for the playable 2. We are... this is a little control-y, and I believe green-white is trying to be counter-y aggro, but it's still a 2. Yeah, and It can be in the board. Ideally, we put this in the board and bring it in against flyers. But if you need a 2, you can do a lot worse. And obviously, I like Elysian's Judgment a lot more in a best of 3 scenario as well. I even start it in the board here, but that's a good pickup. Pegasus is... Like, I'd like a Pegasus more than a Snare Spinner in the main, because I want the evasion for attacking as opposed to the defensive nature against evasion. Nothing here really matters. Take... Silent Dart can be a grudging playable if you have no interaction, but I'm going to take the... I'll even take it. It's again, best of 3. Miscast is an uncommon, so you can make the Vault play there, but Dart might actually do something for us, so we should take it. Solidarity in green-white counters is quite excellent. Siege Striker also good, but I think we take Solidarity and look to get as wide as we can. Passage would be nice, but this is what green-white's trying to do, right? We just would love a little hookup on the green-white synergy stuff now. Another Visionary leaps out at me. What else do we have here? 9 lives. Not particularly playable. We can take a Savior, though. I think I like first Savior over third Visionary. This just says trade up for target removal spell. It's very good. It's only weak when your opponent isn't trying to remove anything of yours. If you're in some race situation, even then it can have its uses, but it's very good. Good boy. I presume the gender of Doggo, but as the owner of a good boy, it's what comes out for me. Pride Malkin again. Yeah, Stormwing Entity set and Finishing Blow in the very late Grasp of Darkness. Say we could have, if we had taken that, if anybody took that Waker of Waves way back, pack 2, pick 1, you might have ended up in a very nice blue-black lane. Oh, I didn't read the flavor text. Thanks, Razor. Malkin, yeah. Feels like we're a little under on green, but here we go. Here, this is fine, perfect. But what does this do? Is this even better? When you draw your second card each turn, create a 2/2 cat. Oh yeah, this was the one where I was pretty unimpressed with the ability to make 2/2 green cats, but then became quite impressed with the 6 mana ability. What do you think, though? Is it better than Scourge for this deck? Like, Scourge is kind of what we're doing. But, yeah, the Elves, the Visionaries are going to work here. Hodge would take the rare. I'm going to go Scourge. I think you might be right, Hodge. And, man, with 2, I guess 2 Scourges is fine, but, like... It'd be nice to have a Scourge and the rare here. But a couple of these are nice. Truffle can do its thing. Wouldn't mind a Defiant Strike in this deck too, but we actually don't even have a thick 3 slot yet, so Truffle Snout's fine. Can slide in a Watchdog or a Chorister. This is an interesting pick. What do you think? Are we like first Chorister or first Watchdog? Chorister seems nice. Because we're filling out our 2, so being able to have that possible curve out from 1 seems good. Yeah. I think I like first Chorister given where we're going with this deck. We don't have any 4-drop, put 2 counters on Acolytes. We don't have any Acolytes yet, but Dreadmaw is a place to go with this mana, but I'm going to keep loading on the low end. I sure want one of those 6/6s, but not in that spot. We could take a Battlements, trying to go wide. Titanic Growth is a reasonable trick in this format. We would prefer more feats, but you can do worse than a growth in a combat, in a blocking heavy format. All right, we'll take that. We take a Barons on a possible black splash, but we're trying to be aggro, so unlikely to splash. Fungal Rebirth can help us go wide. You know, Fungal Rebirth into Solidarity is not bad. We can also just take gems. Surian is like Rebirth, though, is real. I think we'll take the Rebirth. This can be a real card here. Track down. We're 1 secure the scene. We are low on interaction, but we should be able to get... You know, both of these are similar. You know, I have similar desire for these cards. Dilo, not where I really want to be with this particular deck. Another splash potential we don't really want, so let's take Return to Nature for a board. Here's a dub we can consider against the right matchups. I play dub if my opponent's removal doesn't look like they can handle it. All right. Still got a pack to go. Feeling okay about this one. Don't love this opener. Looks like we gotta pick a Gale Swooper. Gale Swooper's fine, but it's not what you want to do first pick, right? It's a good card, but not your dream pack 3 pick 1, right? Another Swooper, Cultivate. Geez, not really nice. Despite, I gotta pass these Dragon Fires to the red player. How are we doing at 4? Yeah, we still don't have much going on at 4, so Swoop's still fine. Fetters is a great pickup 3. That's some excellent interaction. I would play an off-color temple. I think it's this is aggro, so it hurts a little bit more, but I still think you'd probably do it. Let's see if it comes up. Let's take a Defiant Strike or a Shield Mate if we want to. Continue on this possible. I mean, this isn't a, you know. You can add a 3rd playable 1-drop. We could really get a curve going. Yeah, I really want an Askolyte. Askolyte. Why can't we get an Askolyte? How about right now? Askolyte, please. Ding! I guess you have to ask. I understand this now. I'll try to be more specific in the future. Let's do it again. Can we have another Askolyte, please? It's another 4-drop playable, but not an Askolyte. We're still going to take it, though. I think that's fine. Well, now suddenly our 4 is a little heavy. Now I'm feeling a little heavy at 4, although these can be considered 5. Yeah, we might just want a guide here. Or, sorry, Guile. Yeah. I think we're good on 4s, so we should take the Guile. Mutt for the board, I like better as a naturalize effect than the Return to Nature even. Another Falconer Adept, another Shield Mate, a Containment Priest. This can be annoying against some decks, but mostly is a Flash Bear. You like Flash Bear or another... I don't think we're playing 2 of these. We're playing 2? It's a lot to try and slide in at 4. Oh, sorry. I meant to go up there. I was trying to go up there and take the other one. I don't think we're playing that. But the Flash Bear is not a huge loss either. But yeah, it wouldn't be bad in the sideboard against Reanimator. Watch us face Reanimator and me be really unhappy we don't have that. Not going to take Light of Promise. I don't think this is a Battlements deck. Doggy, fine. Steed could be a 5. I think we maybe just want Defiant Strike, although it's just not... Wow, Gaggle Master came back. I think we want a Gaggle Master at 5, topping this curve over the Valorous Steed. I'm gonna do that over the another Shield Mate. I don't know if we're playing the first one. Yeah, we might not play a 5. I don't know if we're playing another 1, though. Defiant Strike. The two things Defiant Strike that can do that are relevant is affect 4 power matters. I know there's some stuff that needs 4 power to be true as the creature enters the battlefield, but for check at end of turn or check for combat, you can get stuff up to 4 power, and for draw a second card effects. And prowess, yeah, it's trying to be a little bit of a toolbox card. It's just not very good. Like if we had taken that rare where you draw a second card for the turn and you get a cat or whatever, we would just totally do that. Right, it would be good in that deck. This is almost certainly to be a 16 lander, and I think we put this removal on the board for when we want that. I think we could even do 16 land, run these two, but let's look at our numbers here. 23, 6, and also these are effectively 5, so we got to keep that in mind. We got the double visionary though that's going to help us hit lots of land. We can maybe start Snare Spinner on the board even. We're doing okay on these 1s and 2s. Maybe Rebirth isn't where we're at here in the main. Yeah, we can drop a Falconer too. I like that. I kept the Steed in till now because of solidarity, really, but it's not. That probably doesn't make the go wide aspect of this worth it per se. So yeah, I'm with you. We can cut that, especially with the Scourges kind of being our top end there, and then that leaves us with one more cut at a 25 split. You want to cut the second Falconer? I think we can use one. We got 2 swoopers. We can swoop them up in the air, get them big. I think 1 Falconer is correct. I would cut the Gaggle Master before the Falconer, I think. Yeah, this could be our final cut. I think we're not so low to the ground that this is like if we had like 3 lieutenants, or sorry, 3 acolytes. If we had a bunch of acolytes, then the shield mate gets a lot better, because then what it's doing is letting you more reliably land this on 4 and have the 2 targets, right? But since we don't have a big bunch of acolytes looking to load up our early drops, I think shield mate's a fine cut, good call, and these 2 are just great and can stay. And then we have a decent looking deck. And I'm going to use my fancy I haven't even been paying attention to who's redeeming what. I've not paid a lick of attention to channel point redemption because I have a tool now. Looks like Truffle Snout on the deck box. What do you want? Paul wants to look at sleeves here. Oh, it's called in chat. And Tim knows, what do you want on lands? Jumpstart, Eldraine, if not, thank you. Put those in the redemption chat, and then I don't have then I can do it all within my system. Jump lands are amazing, but a bit hard to get. You need to like open a rare jumpstart thing, and I've opened 2 of those and they were the same one, so I've gotten the same. I have the island and that's it. Eldraine here-ish. Yes, it's a lovely Howard Lyon Plains. Let's go with Lars Grant West on the forest. Yeah, right? Mentor was what this deck was missing. Was really hoping to see that uncommon payoff, but the draft might not have had it. In Ikoria, which you can probably map out to other sets too, we worked out that a given uncommon, you're like, oh, is this draft going to have a whatever? There's 0.9 copies per draft, so usually there's like one, maybe. Yeah, we didn't ask for it. I did get the Askolyte I asked for there. That's good. So we'll call it Askolyte. All right, we'll adjust record stuff, get to the battlefield. Boo! All right, we can work with this. What are we throwing back? It's either a plains or maybe even the feet. Feet feels too good. We could bail on the chorister and just say we're going to work with... But see, I want the 2 creatures for the Askolyte. Forest back? You mean plains, right? Oh, yeah, I guess you're just saying you want to be sure to get the Askolyte. I would want to make sure we have both of our colors. Yeah, I think we risk it for the plains. Because we have, with the plains, we still have really a tight 3 cards to work the early turns with. Yeah, feet is a reasonable alternative. For me, it was feet or plains. I don't think you could give up your 2 creatures for that, though. And, okay, we got lucky and found our replacement plains. I'm going to play the forest and attack, see if they want to give us the easy... I'm going to... Yeah, pretty easy feat for me here. Happy to get a counter on this. Happy to get that Arsonist off the board. And now we have the potential to go turn 3 Doggy into turn 4 Askolyte, adding more counters here. Now I want to go Scourge instead. It's the same effect, you know, 2-2, 2-2, but then if we hit this, we get extra action on the Scourge. I'm not gonna bluff the Chorister attack, so I'm just to consider it. Like, we could not cast this and attack, but I would block in their shoes every time, so I'm not gonna do it. All right, basic land. I think we're all basic, so land off the top 1 time would be incredible. We'd get really recover from our mulligan, and if both of these creatures survive, dropping an Askolyte. They're looking at our creatures, so maybe with against red-black, maybe I'm having lofty goals here that they both survive. And with the open mana, we could go for an Adept here and give him a chance to use some removal and then follow with the Askolyte on whatever's left. Are we on the draw? I forget now. I'm trying to figure out if they're mana screwed or not. But anyway, I'm going to go Adept. I think this is correct. Draw out the removal, see what they want to do with this board, and then have Askolyte coming up. They might just be stuck. Yeah, they might have nothing, but if they have nothing, the Adept is a great play, right? Because we're going to be able to attack with it and make creatures and stuff. All right. This is okay. Oh, and we got the Solidarity. Nice. I'm going to start on Askolyte, and then next turn we go Doggy Solidarity. And we don't have attacks here, though, because we could get a creature out of it. We could offer Crypt Lurk. Oh, we don't even offer Crypt Lurker is the problem. We'd be trading Adept for a 1/1. That's not good enough. But if all of this survives, next turn is very strong. Ooh, Fetters is interesting, but we don't even need it if they don't have anything here. I'm still gonna go with the original line, and we'll save the Fetters and see what they have for this. And just the Adept here, and see what they've got for it. I don't want to trade the Chorister either when we're about to have mana to pump. Not at 20. Like, if we were really close to closing them out, Professor wanted to attack with a Chorister too. I didn't want to offer that trade. Because we find a 5th mana, this thing is a beast. Yeah, I don't know what that was about, but now I'm gonna go. I mean, these Goblin Wizards just might be about to get big or whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna play Fetters on the Lurker and put him and say, "What do you got?" Now I might even attack with a Chorister, although it's likely to trade with a couple of Goblins or something. What do you think? Would you attack? Like, can we accept a dead Chorister for the rest of it basically getting through? Yeah, I think at 15, with them starved on land and us with all of this, we can do it now. Just had to think that through, right? Because we are offering the Chorister, but we have to just decide if they take the Chorister out, that's the price we were willing to pay for this attack. And then the Charger augmenting the air in the future is also nice. Yeah, I don't think our life total is the real issue. Like, if they beat us, it's because they wrest control of the game away from us and attrition us out from 50, 60, 80. Right? Like, if this deck beats us, our life total doesn't matter. All right, that was, they kind of explored their blocking options and decided they didn't like what they saw. Red-black, Goblin Wizardry Removal deck. I mean, we only saw the one Dragonfire there, but we presume black-red is going to have a lot more where that came from. What do we got against Goblin token, or Wizard tokens? Anything to do there? We're not splashing, so let's just look at our colors. I don't like Dub against the black. I don't think this is, they're going to show any Legion's Judgment worthiness. Mutt, do we see anything? And we've got the Faith's Fetters. We didn't see anything from them that we wanted to neutralize. Yeah, Shieldmate is good against 1/1s. The trouble is the Goblin Wizards aren't really 1/1s. You can't really treat them like that. I mean, maybe Fungal Rebirth has a role here, because if we could rebirth them as a surprise, then maybe we get something. Yeah, I think we can just run it back, though. Titanic Growth is okay here. I think we have some creatures that are generic enough that we could just let them go for a proper sideboard card, but I just don't think we had anything worthwhile in the sideboard slot. Need a little more mana to get where we want to be here, but this is a certain keep. Yeah, the battlements are interesting because of the... We could go Battlement Adept in some matchups. Alright, nice to have that land. Start on doggy number 1. Better read it to make sure I know exactly what it does. Saving stuff via indestructible. Oh, man. I owed you that one from the first game anyway. I was going to say, maybe I'll hold myself to only using this one when there are multiple dogs, like when I cast my second dog. So I was going to totally play this. Pull at the dog! But I'm going to hold back because I didn't actually have multiple dogs. You like green mana, keep up Guile? Charger, keep up Guile is a thing. I'm kind of more curve out here. I like just curving out. Although I guess it's true that, like, this represents more damage than this in the abstract. We can totally charge or keep up Guile. I'm going to tap out for Swooper next turn, though. I'm with you all on this because it's actually more damage. Chat is always correct. So's my wife. Yeah, these could read a little bit stronger on the red front. You're not wrong. The white stripe across the middle gives it a white feel. Well, we do have the possibility of Scourge, Hold Up, Guile. That's so telegraphed. I think swooping and launching the Charger and then sending all. Oh, sorry, I did a restart. There's your Cardboard Live again. I have on my to-do list is to put my Cardboard Live in my startup stuff so that every time I do a restart, I don't have to remember that I've left Cardboard Live off. But there you go. And it's meme time. Gaggle looking for one more land. In this case, I'm going to start with an attack. There's nothing to do. Playing anything pre-combat doesn't do anything for our damage unless we want to use Guile for damage, which we do not. You generally don't want to use Guile for damage. We'll see if they go for a removal here. And yeah, we'll save. And this is fine. We save the creature and Scourge. Make a... Well, we could also make a doggy and potentially have a bigger Scourge. But I just like a 2/2 Scourge here and see if we can't grow it later. Hill Giant would have been nice, but looks like what am I looking for? What's the Grey Ogre is fine too. Thank you. All right. So a little solid magical curve out for the opening W. It's a nicely designed card because it's pretty weak. Well, it's playable, but like replacement level if you're not doing other counter stuff, right? And then if you're doing other counter stuff, it becomes one of the better cards in your deck. So I love cards that aren't unplayable for decks of that color, but they tend to fall in the draft to the people who want them for their synergy. I like that. Boo Earns! I'm gonna mulligan this. Not enough going on here. Keep this though, and maybe the Adept. We get rid of the Visionary. Although if we find a Forest, we'll be sure happy to play a Visionary on 3. So yeah, I think I'm looking at Adept or Visionary, and I think we gotta say Adept in this case. Give us a Forest deck, please. Yes, thank you, thank you. Such a good listener, deck. Such a good listener today. And the turn for 4th land also. Of course, not all coming up Millhouse. We had to beat a Scavenging Ooze, but I like this start. Well, Race and Ooze. Tough to race the Ooze, but we're going to try. All right, deck. How about a Faith's Fetters for that Ooze? I thought about flying the Ooze for kicks, but then I didn't want to forget some 1-mana untapped target creature type play or something. All right, well, this can help with help do something in this race. I could leave Pegasus back to threaten Kitty. I think that's correct. And then, well, I want the Scourge to threaten the Ooze. Since now we have no more creatures in the yard, right now, conceivably, the Ooze can't grow anymore. Do you like going for the gaggle or holding up the feet? I think sending Gale Swooper and... Yeah, I guess we should do Gaggle. It's really, it does, you know, we can now turn on the afterburners here. Yeah, Dino gets big, but we're going to gain life. We can take a hit. We can take a pretty big hit for one turn here and not suffer if we resolve this Gaggle Master. So I'm going to get back on the aggro path. And try to represent a little bit of a... Here, I should do it like this. I'm trying to represent Guile. No, I want Scourge to threaten the ground crackback. I mean, that's what was going on in my head. If you were aggressive enough to attack with a Scourge there, I suppose you could offer that trade. But I wanted the Scourge threatening on the ground. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can get 9 with the feet and the flyers. Yes. I set a bunch of stops on my opponent's turn so that this pause would happen here. I'm trying to make it pause so that Oppo sees a game pause with me with 1 forest up so that they think we have Guile. I'm trying to make Oppo scared of a Ranger's Guile we don't have. Yeah, now we got lethal, though, because they got nothing but green blockers. So what Frost sees is that we can give the Scourge pro-green, and then we have it. And only they have the Guile, and actually the Guile doesn't even stop it. So even if they have Guile, it doesn't do anything here. It's true, Manthril, but a lot of people don't notice that much. Manthril says, setting an upkeep stop on an opponent's turn gives away that it's a manual stop. That's true, but a lot of it's still it's pretty easy to click those boxes, and the worst case is they suss out your goof, right? They suss out your trick. But a lot of people are not going to see what you are calling out, right? That they're just going to notice that at the time. So you can run it and know that it's kind of a free, like, I don't know, it takes 4 clicks for a free roll, basically. But you're just suggesting don't do the upkeep one to match it. That's probably true. I just like did it out of you know, just trying to put them in there. Anyway, yeah, this could be the dub. The chance for dub and Legion. Yeah, let's bring in Legion as a judgment as a possibility for the ooze for a Titanic growth. And dub could be in for what? Shuffle Snout. I think you're misremembering Guile. The way they make those give something hexproof with green is to give your own stuff. They don't want you to be causing people to not be able to put enchantments on their creatures or whatever. I don't think we cut the Hydras, but you could convince me the Falconer is not at its best here. I think I like that. That's fine. Let's try this. One of the cards, one of the last times they did that, and I think was the card that they learned the mistake on, is the one from Zendikar. If you look, there's a Zendikar landfall combat, landfall, +1, +4, +4, and, or plus X, plus X, plus S, plus something, and Shroud or Hexproof, and it allowed you to do it on opponent's stuff, and that was really annoying. It was not the intent of that card. I hate that we don't have a 2 here, but I also can't throw this back. Oppo going first. We have 2 draws to find a 2-drop, and if we have to get going on 3, okay. Boo, that's not what we wanted. Come on, how about one of our doggies? Any doggy will do. No luck, flooding out, and no 2-drop, but Oppo for Boros really not pressuring us either. Yeah, like, I don't even know what they're doing here. I'm happy that we are not punished. I'm gonna go with Visionary, try to just get a Gaggle Master out early. Yeah, wait, maybe they're missing a color. What's going on here? Did we start a new match? Oh, I called the doggy and the doggy came, but not as soon as I would have liked. We can, however, go Truffle Snout, Watchdog, which is fine here. We'll do this. I was gonna go Gaggle Master, but I like splitting the team here. There is Oppo's color that we remember. Brash Taunter is excellent, but we do have a great tool for it. They are in the colors that can undo our stopping of the Taunter, but we have like one of the few answers to Taunter here in our hands, so that's pretty great. And we get to cast it and keep Feet of Resistance up. So we're gonna now have Feet up kind of at all times. Now, there's another one too, any -X, right? It's not the tool. The other one is would be like the -4 in black. It's a good one. Leaving the Visionary back so that we can cast Feet if need be. Capture Sphere is another one, yeah. Ganmore coming up with a big list. But certainly, as Hodge says, this is the premiere. Like, this is the way you love to do it. Black Mythic, yep. Oh, Karvek, but also Masker Worm, right? Masker Worm would do it. So now we can do Gaggle and hold up Feet. I like that. We can offer Snout for Mauler and use the Feet, but I'm happy to just offer the Snout for the Mauler if they want to take that trade, and then we Gaggle Master after that. Yeah, the best thing you want, the absolute best way is to exile it, but that's a little bit more expensive. This is the best card that gets rid of it, I think. Yeah, let's Gaggle. Yeah, we'll give it pro white. You can be cute and let it land. I mean, we could let it land and then turn this into a 5/4 on blocks and block the Mauler. That might be worth it. Like, we can deny him life, but we can also try and eat the Mauler. But we're going to have Watchdog and Visionary. I bet they won't. I'm just going to deny the life and get on with this. Sorry, it's white we're looking for? Yes. Now, if we attack all, and they decide to eat, say, Dog or Visionary, we get through for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, bringing them to 3, making the Gaggle Master lethal. That's pretty appealing. However, getting them with just the 8 brings them to within lethal anyway, right? So if it changed our clock, I would do it, but it doesn't actually change our clock. So I'm just going to attack with these two. Yeah, we are going to add Peggy. And with double X spell in the deck, we're certainly playing our lands out. Just so. Now we got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is an 8. Nice. Cruising ahead here. We got 2040 to start the day. See if we can claim a trophy. I spun, right? I think I spun before I got on air today. Oh no, we had a 750. That's why. No, but I just completed a 500. Did I forget to spin? I think I just forgot to spin. Boo. Poor fundamentals, Ryan, on account management there. Yeah, God's Willing was pretty constructed playable because of its one mana-ness. Like being on the play. Do not like this opener. Too slow. Prone to flood out and don't have anything in our hand until 4. Giving it up. This looks better. And what do we give up? I'm going to give up the Guile. And hope we find a 2. A 2-drop would be perfect. Have to give up some interaction, though. Well, that's a 2-drop, and we should do it. Right? I mean, it makes a 1/1, but when we put Malkin token on it, it'll be a 3/3, and then get bigger from there. Seems like we wouldn't want to do this in the abstract, but in this deck we absolutely do. Oh yeah, let's see, what is it? I had this wrong. Another non-hydra. Thank you. I would have screwed that up for sure. So we put the Malkin on Malkin. It's still worth it, right? Because then we go... it's still a very nice sequence here. If we find land, we can add the Adept to the board before we Solidarity. But Scourge into Malkin into Solidarity, even without another land, is a pretty nice start. I don't know what Got a Tap Dad is up to. Maybe they had to run to the bathroom. Maybe they kept a 1-lander, didn't find the second land, and are just sick to their stomach right now. I'd take that. Oh, darn it, they have land. Charger. Nice, but you're a little late, buddy. I would have played this on... Yeah, this is still a good 2. Anyway, we're going to Malkin onto itself, as chat has properly indicated. Plains, or yeah, Plains would be our ideal draw, because then we can go Adept on 4, and then on next turn go Charger Solidarity. One-time dealer. Have I used my one-time today? Here's the thing, you've never used your one-time. That's the beauty of it. So, one-time dealer, give me a Plains off the top, please. Not what we were looking for. Open mana to consider. If we Solidarity, we get a 4/3 and a 4/4. Because this will get 1 from the Solidarity and another from the counter going on the So 4-3 and 4-4 attack nicely here. We could also, though, just Charger. And then we have 2 attacks. Well, we could do Charger on Scourge and swing both. Are we afraid of what Oppo is up to? Charger on Cat, swing Cat on... They could have... So we're worried about that. You want to play around that? I mean, if we want to do that, we should just send in... Well, yeah, we're doing a Charger. Let's do a Charger. The question is... Scourge, send both? Or Kitty, send Kitty only? I think we just send the Scourger. If they have interaction here, that's okay. I say Scourger, I mean Scourger. Yeah, I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make a Scourger. Hodge does not want to trade Scourger for a combat trick. Yeah, I'm just feeling Still Got Outs' thought, though, that this is a lot of action behind that we're happy with. Adept backed by a growth. Solidarity after that. Like, I'm attacking either... If this attack works, it's fantastic. If they use cards to interact... It's not even the worst. That's fine. So yeah, I'm happy with what we did. All right, well, I'm going to go with the Visionary now, but we can attack first. Yeah, I'll just take that trade. I didn't think they were going to take that trade. I'm fine with it. I know we have Solidarity for that, but I think getting a blocker out of the way is great. Fetters, nice here as well. If we find... we don't even need a land. If we need to, we could Fetters whatever they come up with. That is a lot of cards. So we just got to go pedal to the metal and try to get them dead before their insano card advantage matters. Yeah, having a lot of cards means the spells they do cast are going to be excellent and impactful. But they only have a certain number of them, and we can try and get this game won before they matter. Now... That's a little rough. We can go Scourge Solidarity. We can go... Yeah, I think we go Scourge Solidarity and then have Growth and Fetters and stuff next turn. Hodge likes the Adept. Those are really the two choices. One of the reasons I like Scourge Solidarity is that it two spells us, but I guess it doesn't create two threats. Alright, I'm in on Adept. Yeah, Scourge Solidarity puts a lot of power down, but boy, if we get an Adept attack through it, which we kind of do here, which we'll do with the Fetters. Now I like Fetters attack. They got Guile. Had to try. Do we want to make a flyer? No, it's got reach. That doesn't help us much. We're going to say no attacks and try and... But this is what they're doing. You know, we said they drew an insane number of cards. So if we let them cast their hand, we're going to have trouble. We're just getting choked on mana here. Although, frankly, if they're going to do anything, I don't mind that. Like, again, if their cards are just getting them more cards, that's not bad for us. And we have Titanic Growth to potentially win combat against Sage next turn. Yeah, it could be a tutelage deck that has not found its tutelage. Boy, we want a basic land. Come on. I'll even take a forest. Oh. Rough. Really rough. With a basic land, we have Titanic Growth, Solidarity, attack with everything, which is just insane. Yeah, I'm with Haj. We swing Cat and Adept. We can Solidarity first. You want I just do it without? Yeah, okay. Just these two. We Titanic Growth 1, and then we can cast Doggy for extra Solidarity action next turn. This is one of the reasons I was considering the Solidarity before this attack, is that it gives us Pride Malkin. Pride Malkin lives. Let's go. Gotta save the Adept, though. Win this combat. Do we want Scourge on 1 or Doggy? I guess we want Scourge on 1 because it can get bigger next turn. It gets much bigger. Right on, Clutch. We got a first-time live viewer. Welcome. No, it'll be bigger, right? It'll be Solidarity. It'll trigger each time, right? So it'll get huge. Yeah, Dog Solidarity. Well, we don't have the double white yet. We'll see. Oppo down to 11 cards. That's fine. That tapping out for that feels like it almost gives us the game. Doesn't this do a bunch of great stuff for us? Not yet. All right, so we're just gonna go just Solidarity, I guess. Well, we don't have Truffle into Solidarity. We have we have 4 total mana, so we have Solidarity or not. And I think with this board and this life total in this situation, we just Solidarity and crank. We don't have 2 white. We can't go Dog Solidarity. That's why I was trying to use my 1 time on a Plains. Still looks like a fine attack with everything to me. Yeah, usually I'm the one missing that, and chat is desperately trying to get me to understand that I cannot cast the spells I think I can. Flipped the script today and... did it for chat. Not out of this, not out of this. But Lieutenant is good. We get Truffle Snout no matter what. Yeah, any land, we can at least throw a counter on the second lethal birdie. I salute you, Oppo. Do it again. Go out on your own terms. Self-deck. Yeah, let's get a good look at their deck. It's not going to be enough because of our lieutenant if we find... Hey, our fourth land! What do you know? Well, I think we can bring in our mutt. We have a couple of Return to Natures. Maybe we just bring in... I mean, I like ETB. We can even do this over, like, the Gaggle Master. We just swap out our 5. This is good. They do have... they showed us Snare Spinners. Gaggle Master, not so great against Snare Spinner defense. I don't like Dub Razor because they showed Unsubstantiate. Yeah, no, I want to get at least one Return to Nature in, or rank. We can do a Rambunctious Mutt and a Return to Nature, and I think that would be good. Like, cut the growth. Still got outs. Is your plan? Is your plan A? Haha. We just let them do their thing and win because they mill themselves out. That seems like bad plan. We got away with it there, but I'm not going to count on that for the second and third games. Okay. You're not a fan of the mutt? You want to just bring in... do you want to bring back the Gaggle Master? Do you like another Return to Nature? Kind of want to try the mutt. I think it'll be fine. Legion's Judgment. What are we getting there? Sage. Sabertooth Mauler. Well, we could do... It's like their only one, though. I'm going to run it. I didn't see any other targets for that Judgment, Hodge. I don't want to bring it in just for the Sage. You can save Fetters for the Sage or whatever. We can assume... Yeah, I like assuming tutelage in the 2-0 bracket here against the deck doing that. I have Return to Nature and Mutt in. I brought in 2 disenchant effects. 1 Furry and Walking. 1 Classic. I get it, Funky, but we're in the 2-0 bracket, and a tutelage goes a long way to explain how our opponent's deck is 2-0. Because what they did against us was a bunch of wheel spinning. Unfortunately, I have to mulligan this, but here we go. And got to keep this. Truffle Snout has to go. Okay, Haj. I know they try. They're trying. They certainly give up on perfect matches in order to get people playing, but I know that it's trying to match on that. I'm gonna start on Chorister. Savior next turn. They're trying to have it be against a 2-0, but no, of course I don't know. All right. 1 drop for 2 drop is okay in my book, although we left a mana unspent, so it's kind of like a 2 drop for a 2 drop there in actual effect. All right, not a bad draw here. Maybe we can get a couple life. Land, land, land. Yes. Fetters doesn't do anything on Ageless, if anybody was wondering, because this stops activated stuff, not static. But Chorister, with a Lieutenant just adding more to the Chorister, let's see. Whenever it dies, so we could put another counter on Pride Malkin so that we have 2 attacks. But if we put it here, we get a 3-powered lifelink attack, which is up there with being able to attack with both of these. Yeah, let's go Malkin, though. We'll spread it out. Feat of Resistance can end up giving the Chorister enough, and also if we get another land, the Chorister can threaten to pump bigger. No Sage mana. Alright. Oh man, I was already feeling good. Now I feel better. But do we want to do this now? Or go in with a feet protected attack? Or even just Faith's Fetters the Mauler and go to town here and then come back. Although I kind of like holding the Fetters for the like the Sage and leveraging feet here. If we Askolyte, do we have blocks that aren't obvious? Because then if we Askolyte, they have 4 power to throw around, and they could kill. They would give us a clean attack with the Lieutenant, but then everything else is a 1-for-1. All right, so let's go like this, and then we can attack with everything. Looks good. I'll make these trades if they want. They're 1-for-1, so it's all good. Yeah, that's a great point. They're not even 1-for-1s in the sense that Lieutenant gives us a replacement card. Good call, chat. Power of our pack 1, pick 1 at work. I got a revelation for you, Oppo. That is not your play to win this game. Well, because they got their trade. They only needed a double block if it was required to make the trade. So Guile, and let's see, can we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it's a forced block. And right now they got they got hexproof, but not. All right, so we don't get to win this turn, but we should win next turn. I can't see a. Let's see if we feat this. Oh, we don't even have the feat anyway. So yeah. We'll just send in Lieutenant. I was thinking we had feat mana up. We don't have feat mana up, so never mind. We'll send Lieutenant and pass. Oh, Askolyte can go too. Yes, you're right. It's a bounce, but we'll save our 2 toughness. And more like swing all. There's no reason to swing all there, I don't think. Now they have a lot of mana and cards, so maybe they can come up with something here. But again, we didn't have the feat. I think I may have led you down that thought, Ganmore, too, but we didn't have a feat ready. Yeah, it was my bad, too. I was exploring ways to win with feet and then realized we couldn't. Hopefully this is Oppo winding down their time in this match as they fail to find an answer to our nonsense. That is a lot of card draw, Oppo. Does this just get us there? Let's see. Close. But we're still not just there, right? PVT talking like I'm not right here in the room. I'm right here in the room. This guy was on LR, and he is cool. Swoop Lieutenant, is that what you want to do here? But then we, yeah. The Salt and Pepper Classic, Swoop. We swing all, what happens? Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, these are a bunch of trades and or bounces, so yeah, looks good. Oppo is really doing some work here to not be dead. I'm impressed. Come on, we were all back in the 90s walking down the street going swoop, swoop, swoop. I don't know what you're talking about, Rob. Listen to the enunciation. Bunch of green stuff is going to be fine. The leaving up of blue... Okay, now we got it. Now it is just feet on the swooper and GG. Mama was listening to different music in the 90s, it seems. 3060. Nice. Kabam. And look at that. It's even coming up Millhouse on the packs. Exactly 20. Bane Slayer. First Bane Slayer. Under the sea. Under the sea. Each little clam here know how to jam here. Dee 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 dee. Yeah, it's not even 11 yet. Wow. We romped. We crushed green-white tokens. Smack down. Still Got Out says, can you talk about Rousing Reeds versus Reign of Revelation in a deck with 8 creatures? Well, kind of somewhat depends on what the creatures are. 8 is still enough to like get it going, but you know, there's a lot of risk there. I'm not liking Rousing Reed in an 8 creature deck. No, I want a little more than that. Skeptical Hat. My wife says, "Don't worry" to me all that. Like, don't worry. You know, like, don't worry. She says, "Don't worry" a lot, and I have spared her hearing me say in my head in response every time, "Flavor Vision ain't blurry." Like, I have said "Flavor Vision ain't blurry" in my head to my wife about 1,000,000 times, and she doesn't even know it. So, nice. Anyway, let's say goodbye to YouTube, though. Bye, YouTube friends. I hope you enjoyed that one. I got you 6 quick wins and done. All right. I bet someone probably looked at the length of this video and was like, oh, Ryan didn't do well. Must not have done well today. Well, surprise. We just did really well. Quickly well. Bye.